first impression, quick reflex. What are you picking? You've got to choose 2 of these groups of animals to defend you, and the rest is coming to kill you.
I pick the rats and the bears.
Yeah, I was going to give them as my choice too.
Bears are truly, truly insanely badass, and the rats is like 3 ton of biomass. I don't want to go against the bears or the rats. First and foremost, that's my take.
So what are the parameters here?
No,
So,
first impressions.
yeah, but
first impressions.
it depends. Yeah, but the parameters.
No, that comes after the first impression. First impressions.
Yeah, but are they going to fight each other, and then if they win, they come for me, or
I
are they
will-
just
I
going to
will
be
tell you
there and then they go around?
after
Because obviously
your first impression.
well, I mean, I'm going 10,000 rats and 3 bears too.
Right.
So I was going to go for the 50 eagles and the 3 bears. Because I think the 50 eagles would be great at distraction, for one. It would be hectic, so it would be quite a fun watch.
I hope you enjoy getting slowly eaten to death by 10,000 rats.
Have control of the skies is a good idea.
That is-
Combined operations.
Exactly. Combined operations is, first impression.
I've got to say, my first impression was the man with the gun and 10,000 rats.
Well, it depends on the gun. Part of me wants to go for the 10,000 rats with the 7 bulls.
Yeah, I mean, 7
Because-
bulls
because
is not a funny thing to have to
7
fight.
bulls in a row, that's pretty brutal. They could take down a good few wolves.
So
Probably a problem for
you're
the bears
10,000
too.
rats and
Yeah.
7 bulls, are you?
I think I'll go with the bulls for some variety.
Right,
Yeah.
So remember your choices, and then what we do is we get into the detail.
Because you don't want an army of 10,000 rats. The sheer biomass, the swarm will overtake anything.
Yes.
First thing I want to know, Dan, is what's the context? What's the arena? What's the... Where does it take place?
Yes.
Because that's what really matters.
Yes. So I've spent the last 3 weeks scanning the Indian Ocean,
An island.
and I've
Where
come
is
across this place. It's called Egmont Island, and I think this is a winner for our arena. So basically, this is it's a couple of miles from nose to tip. So it's not a tiny island, because I think if you had that scenario in
Where is this out of interest? In the Pacific or something?
Oh, I could zoom out, but I'd lose my place.
Okay, don't worry,
I'd
don't
answer
worry.
that in a question. But so basically, I thought if you're say in the Colosseum, I think you die whatever you pick, because it's just too intense, too close, right? Whereas with this, right, you've got a couple of miles all the way around, and let's just have a look at it.
It's
So
the Chagos
Yeah, it's
archipelago.
heavily forested though, so you can climb trees. There's all sorts of
I was
things.
gonna say,
you
is
can
there-
do now.
is there elevated ground?
It's in the Chagos archipelago.
Oh, right.
So
Was
we've
that
got
in
a
the
base
Indian
site.
Ocean?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
well, maybe that's where you get dropped off, and they take you by a small boat to this
Right,
place,
yeah.
and then they turn up with a couple of landers.
Yeah,
and
Indian
deliver
Ocean
the
territory.
Other side. So yeah, you've got sharks all around, but on the island you've got a thin stretch. So you could perhaps do a bit of Sparta technique by taking the thin bit. You have got some open spaces. There's a number of trees around. You have got some open areas.
Is there higher ground or is this all flat?
I think
looks
it's
fairly flat.
moderate.
Yeah.
Slight hills, but you have got some open grassland if you want to let the bulls off the leash. And then you kind of you've got that. You've got a little watery lagoon, not very deep.
Oh,
but,
actually, that's okay. So a lagoon filled with crocodiles.
well, yes.
How the rats going to get around that, right?
Yeah.
So suddenly we've got a way of neutralising the rats all of a sudden.
I'll give you.
So you're just in a rubber dinghy in the middle of the lagoon, surrounded by crocodiles. I think you're going to win there.
Hey, the
actually.
crocodiles are on my team.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
No,
yeah,
exactly.
like-
If you've got the crocs on your
Yeah.
team and you're just in the middle of the water,
Yeah.
you're set.
Well, to be fair, you got to worry about the eagles. So crocodiles and eagles in the lagoon.
But that's where you get the man with the gun in another rubber dinghy next to you.
Depends what gun he's got, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's really important detail for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And it's not me or you with a gun; it's another man
Yeah.
who's proficient with
I,
that firearm.
I'm coming to that. I'll just do,
Endless ammo?
I'll,
What are we
I'll-
talking?
I will just do I'll do the rest of the setup. So
Okay.
the other rules is that the animals on your team, you've got like a very basic Neuralink with them.
Right.
So I mean, we're talking very like an early video game.
I like the
but
sound of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you can basically just like, okay, you go over there, you defend here, you patrol this bit, that kind. You've got that level of control over them.
Right.
Right? And the other side, do you remember with COVID, there's all those variations of the virus, right? And it was like, apparently it started bad, and then it got and then you got Omicron, which was like a very mild. So it's basically the Omicron version of the Rage virus from 28 days later.
Right, okay.
So they do want you dead, even the gorillas that are normally like just want to plait your hair or whatever. But they're not going to lose their shit. The wolves are still going to behave like wolves, and they're still going to coordinate.
Right.
They're just sinister, and they just are like, we're gonna
They do
eat
want
that
you
guy.
dead.
Yeah.
But when it comes to grips, it's no holes barred.
Yeah.
Because this is one bit of sort of real life where they used to have in ancient Rome, for example, when they had animal fights. Quite often, it was the case that you know, maybe you'd set 10 or 20 tigers on 10 or 20 lions or something, and they don't want to fight. They refuse to. They know that it's sort of a life or death struggle. They know they're in this thing, but they will still
these
refuse
guys
to.
are fighting.
Particularly big cats and various animals. Some animals are much more aggressive than others. Classically, a bear is ready to rock and roll, and big cats often aren't. But we're assuming that every animal in this is
coming.
enraged and ready to fight to the
Not
death.
quite enraged. I mean, they've got their shit together, but they want you dead.
They're set on killing.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. The second thing I want you to, because we got to take a quick look at these animals just to gauge them for ourselves. So I thought I might start out by showing you this spectacular bird.
Yeah. Yeah. 50 of them. Like.
So, I mean, what a magnificent
Yeah,
creature.
awesome. That's exactly why my first choice was that.
Have we got a close up of their claws as well, man? Because their feet
haven't got
have got
that.
a profoundly strong grip.
Yes.
Because birds' grip actually works in the way that, like the opposite way to our grip. So they naturally curl up, and they have to expend energy to open them. Right. This is why birds fall asleep on branches. Because if they're relaxing, their feet
Yeah, look at that.
clench. Yeah, exactly. Look at those fucking talons, right?
Yeah.
And so they're naturally very strong with their feet, and it's just an unbelievable amount of of pressure that they can apply. So these are just butcher's knives. And goes through something.
So I'll give you the stats on that. I've got the bite force of everything except for the eagles, which is the grip strength. 400 psi. Now that puts it comparable with wolves.
Yeah.
Which is at the lower end compared to some of the other stuff, but wolves is still a respectable amount of.
I've got a counterpoint for the birds.
Go on then.
So yeah, the talons on a big eagle are fearsome, and its beak is also fearsome, but they're still a bird,
Yes.
so they don't weigh very much. You can snap even a big, massive eagle like that. You can snap its wing in half quite easily.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you get it,
Was
you
the whole-
can wring its neck
Yeah.
like
the
a
hollow
rabbit.
bones thing.
They're total
they're
glass
not-
cannons.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
that's exactly glass cannon. Yeah,
Wait.
so it can grab you, rip a chunk out, bite you, but you grab it, even just a normal man,
Yeah.
and you wring its neck quite easily.
Yeah.
So if it was coming
so-
for you, is there a chance that if you could just go, bam, it's done?
Yeah, if you injure its wing in any way, it's a little bit.
Yeah, they're not
Effed.
tough.
Oh, okay.
If
A
you
glass cannon's a great way of putting
if
it.
you punch it, you're going to break its rib cage, right? And that'll be it falling out of the sky. But the thing is, it won't fly at you chest first. It'll fly at you talons first,
Yeah.
and whatever happens, it's probably going to shred the first thing it touches, which is really going to suck. And the claws are really sharp as well, so they'll go through your muscle and just sever tendons. So you'll lose control of a hand.
You got
right?
50 of them
Yeah.
all at once.
That is mad.
Yeah.
50. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to consider now perhaps set up my little rubber ring that I'll be sat in the middle of the water, surround myself with crocodiles, and have the 50 eagles.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
And then you can just you know kind of by attrition, are the rats going to swim for you?
Yeah.
In which case the alligators start snapping them
Yeah,
up.
exactly. The rats are completely helpless, and you'll probably get a dozen rats per bite and stuff like this. If you're going to deal with rats, that's the way to deal with it, right?
So I had a proper zoom in on that water bit, and it's not very deep.
Doesn't have to be. Rats are small.
No one stipulated any sort of rubber ring setup.
Sure. I mean, if it's not really, I can
we-
stand up to my neck in it. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
You know.
Stand up to your neck in it. You've got your friendly alligators
Yeah.
or crocodiles.
Rubber Dinghy Rapids, bro.
Sit on a crocodile. You've got 10 of them. You can use one of them to sit on.
Yeah, you could sit on one of
No,
them.
I'll stand. I'll stand. I want the crocodile out fighting for me. It's got to defend me.
That isn't a very wide gap. In fact, so that's probably the deepest bit. So let's assume that's chest height.
Right.
Measured distance. Will it give me? Yeah, there we go.
36 meters. That's
Okay,
plenty
it's,
of
it's a
room.
reasonable
Yeah,
one,
That's
actually.
plenty of room.
There's plenty of room.
I
The
feel
eagles
like-
can wear everything else down by attrition.
I didn't know you could do that.
Crocodiles get anything
Oh, yeah.
else by as soon as it gets close to
I
you.
feel like eagles, as badass as they are, will inflict quite little damage on like an alligator, big alligator.
That's why you've got
I
them
think the
outside.
bears shrug them off quite easily.
I don't know.
I
I
think
mean,
bear,
like,
could,
like-
a bear could swipe them
so-
out the air quite easily.
Like bears can get shot with like a rifle, not a high powered hunting rifle, but
Yeah.
like a shotgun, even at point blank range, like birdshot, buckshot.
Yeah.
Big bears been known to sort of shrug that off.
yeah, they absolutely
So
could. But
um,
the issue is, you know, each bear has got like 15, 20 eagles, like swooping down, slashing it, and then flying off, right? And so the bear's just going to be covered in these hideous bleeding wounds, and they're going to die of blood loss, right? So it's not going to be like, we don't need the eagle to, like, you know,
And that's before it even gets into the water potentially.
where the crocodiles
Maybe.
are.
And then the crocodiles snap at it, and the bear's not designed
Yeah.
to attack in water as
Yeah.
well.
Bears getting
Oh,
death
well-
rolled, chunks ripped off of it.
bears hunt the fish in
Yeah,
the,
they-
in
yeah,
the
bears
river.
are fine
They're
in
not-
water.
They're not
They're not-
completely out
I'm just
their
thinking
element.
of like Lord of the Rings style, like, you know, with the eagles coming
Yeah.
in. That's how I'm picturing it.
I don't think
It
they're
looks
that big.
cooler as well.
Yeah, are they battle eagles?
Yeah, yeah.
Trained
I think they're just
for
these
aerial
eagles,
combat,
right?
Have you
or
got
they're
tiny little bits of armour on them?
Yeah, yeah.
They are this magnificent bird we can see in front of us.
And do they particularly work in union as sort of a?
Well, we're controlling
you can
them, aren't
fly. Oh, right, okay.
So
Yeah.
I will
Go for the
tactically
eyes.
direct them from my position in the swamp
Yeah.
with my phalanx of alligators in front.
Actually, we have immediately started getting very British about this,
Yes.
haven't we? Oh, swamp, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
base
it's
of
just tactically
operation.
sane, you know.
Yeah.
Can I get myself blue paint all over me?
But
for this?
I do think that the bears would be worn down if you just have them, you know, repeated dive bombs of slash, 50 of them just on, you know, the bear's just going to be just pouring blood.
Well, the,
by the end of this.
eagles will tire as well. I mean, we've got to factor.
Sure, but they don't have to do that much per swoop, right? It's just one slash.
And there is 50 of them, so you
Yeah.
can coordinate them
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
The other thing with them is they basically remove the option of stealth for any strategy.
Sure.
Because there's 50 of them, and they can cover this island in less than a minute, which is significantly faster than the next thing, which is a lion, which will apparently take 2 minutes to cover the island.
Right, okay. So, yeah, the lions, I suppose, would probably use an amount of stealth. But if I'm in the water with my crocodiles, what does it do?
Another thing that matters is what's the range. So does the battle royale begin and you're in quite close proximity, or are you different ends of the island? Because for the gun, for example, and the eagles, that would really matter.
So what I decided on that is because I looked at the time to traverse the island, and it ranges from half a minute for the eagle to 70 minutes for the crocodile to get from one end to the other. Human, we're assuming 6 minutes. That might be a bit optimistic with the rough terrain, but it's a small island. So anyway, I decided you and your animals arrive, and you've got 70 minutes setup time, so you can reposition, and then it's random spawn. So what will happen is a little boat will come in, a little trailer will drop down thing, and then the animals will just arrive at random spawn points.
If you would like to see the full version of this premium video, please head over to lotuseaters.com and subscribe to gain full access to all of our premium content.